welcome back to our show, your show, Let's Talk Stocks. In studio with us this morning is Miss Kathryn Silvera, and she's from Ramson's, a big household name in Jamaica. Kathryn, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Good morning, and thank you very much for having me.
All right, talk to us. Ramson's, Chassis Ramson, a big company in Jamaica. You're celebrating 100 years just last year.
Yes.
In line with some of the other big name companies.
Definitely,
Talk to us about Ramson.
we're a long-standing distribution company. I've been around for 101 years this year.
Okay.
We started off as a manufacturer's representative, my great-grandfather. Jamaica was very different 100 years ago.
Yes.
We didn't have storage in those days. You would go out, take your orders, then put the orders in with your suppliers, import the products, and have them delivered straight to the shops. So it was a lot different. And then he died quite early in life, and my great-grandmother maneuvered the business, very a woman in business in those days. And then my grandfather took over, and he really transformed the business and helped to shape it into what it is today, followed by my uncle John Ramson, who is still chairman of the company. And so I think, we have been tried and true throughout the 100 years, and we're doing really well. We have to be thankful that even with COVID, the one thing that persons had to do was still eat.
Of course.
And go to the supermarket. So we were able to thrive, and coming out of COVID, we are still seeing the benefits and the sales happening with the company.
When we talk about Chassis Ramson, most people will know the big brand Fosca.
Yes.
But there are many other brands that you have out there. You want to
Yes.
talk to us about some of those brands?
Well, we definitely have to touch on Fosca because everybody has grown up on Fosca.
Yes.
It is Jamaica's favorite breakfast for Jamaica's favorite oats. In addition, we have a wide range of products, mostly food items. Ellen Vere out of France, which is a line of dairy products. We have Blue Diamond almond milk, which is quite huge. A lot of Jamaicans are lactose intolerant or looking for a more healthier option to dairy. We have a new brand on the market, Double 7 energy drink. It is really taking over downtown Spanish Town, going across the island, giving our young people and everybody energy to take on the day. We have a wide range from McCormick seasonings to Smucker's jams and jellies. We just recently brought in a new line of cleaning products called Sapolio. In addition, we have locally made products, our own brand, Ramson's, which is a line of basic items like your oils, your vinegars, your syrups. And we also do Cloud9 paper products, Snow White bleach, and Cubby's wipes. Those are all brands owned by Chassis Ramson.
I didn't know it was that wide. Talk to me about, so you remained mainly distribution.
Yes.
Ventured a little bit in manufacturing. You've taken on some brands of your own.
Yes.
That taken the Chassis Ramson's name. Why not venture more into that manufacturing and look at the whole packaging and so on?
Well, we have two companies that have slightly similar ownerships, and so Chassis Ramson is the distribution side, and Caribbean Foods Limited is the manufacturing side, and so that is the company that actually manufactures Fosca oats.
Okay.
And we're looking into expanding and developing other products to manufacture under Caribbean Foods Limited. Chassis Ramson, we have been spearheading other products that are manufactured in Jamaica that we own, but they're manufactured by other persons. When Jamaica is still small, and really to really be able to manufacture well and cost effectively, you have to be able to not just manufacture for Jamaicans, but for export as well.
Of course.
And so sometimes it's a lot easier to private label with another manufacturer because they have started the business. You can see how well that product is going to do before you think about perhaps manufacturing it yourself.
How difficult it is as we talk about manufacturing. In Jamaica, we have high energy costs, high security costs. I mean, how difficult is it managing that manufacturing section of the business?
It is difficult. It is very difficult. Jamaica doesn't have a lot of incentives for manufacturing that some of our neighboring countries like Trinidad have.
Okay.
And so it is quite difficult to make sure that you're having a quality product at a very competitive price. So what happens to us, I think, is that we do very well in markets that Jamaicans are living in.
Yes.
And we have a wide diaspora, whether in the US, Canada, the UK, some of the other islands as well. And so I think that does hurt us a little in terms of our export, is that we're not as competitive. We have a great world-class product. All of our manufactured products are able to compete on the world stage. But we do have those difficulties with the high security rates, the high energy costs that are not, we're not able to be as competitive.
As you mentioned, in Trinidad, and they have, well, certainly lower energy costs than us, and additional incentives. Do you think that's something that we should look at as a country, to incentivize the manufacturing sector to really drive, if we intend to really drive growth?
Definitely, and the JMEA has been pushing. They have several plans that they've presented to the government, to the Ministry of Industry, Investment and Commerce. It is something that I think is in talks. It is difficult because we did enter into the agreement with where we had to remove a lot of incentives. So I think that it is something that we are always fighting for. It is something that the manufacturing sector is a large sector in Jamaica behind the finance and tourism. And so it is something that should be happening for the manufacturing sector. In the 80s, certainly, we would have had huge manufacturing efforts in Jamaica. And I believe it was due to incentives that we would have had at the time.
Your company is largely family owned.
Yes.
Passed down through generations. You told me off here, you're now into the fourth generation of the company. Normally, family owned companies run into problems. They're not as efficient because, things like, because of family. How have you managed that process to keep it all together and run an efficient operation as you've done?
Yes, well, I think that we've been lucky in that our family has been able to be one of the less than 2% that make it to the fourth generation. Normally they say the first generation builds it, the second generation lives it, and the third generation kills it, or something along those lines. Yes. But I think us being in the fourth generation, I know that for myself, I'm very proud that I'm a shareholder and I'm a part owner of the company, and I want to be able to see that grow another 100 years to have a legacy for my family, my children, my brother, my cousins, all of the family that is in the business. And so, and I know that I can speak for myself and my cousins that we take extreme care and diligence in the operation of the business and ensuring that we are managing our expenses and that we're always looking to grow our sales.
Growing sales, critical to any business. How has that been going for you?
I would say that it has been doing very well. We have currently this financial year, we are about 20% ahead of the last financial year, which was approximately 17% ahead of the previous. So we are growing leaps and bounds. Inflation is having an effect on that, of course. There has been raising prices from suppliers, raising freight costs that are coming down now. But our sales are doing well, and we've been able to try and minimize expenses, except for perhaps security, which we know has almost gone up by 50%.
Yes, because of the nature of things and where they are. Kathryn, this is a very important discussion. So we want to take it in two parts. We want to bring you back to have a second part of the discussion, looking more at maybe your international foray, the future of the company, and so on. So we're going to wrap this one here with great discussion so far, but we want to chat with you a little bit more. And so you've heard it. You've seen the big brands. You didn't know who made them. Well, now you know. Fosca, Ramson's. As we always say here on Let's Talk Stocks, we give you information to make better financial decisions. Come back with us tomorrow morning at 9 when we have the second part of our chat with Kathryn on Chassis Ramson, the company, and what they're going to be doing in the future.